Cancer, welcome to your reading. Welcome to your Soul Code Tarot reading. You're so welcome here. You're with me, Catherine. How are you? This reading is just looking at oracle cards, your gene keys, your chakra points, and of course, the tarot. First of all, I'm just starting with your oracle cards and just seeing, Cancer, where you're at, where you've been, where you're going, what help is needed, motivation, inspiration for your journey, Cancer. So I'm recording this on a very windy day in September. Beautiful. And just sending you lots of that fresh, clean, windswept energy, Cancer. It just always feels good. Going for a walk in the wind always feels really good to me. Okay, so the first card out is Patience. So Spirit is saying that patience at the moment is either needed or that you are being given patience, experiencing patience. So let's see what else we have here. Any messages, please, for Cancer around this patience information? So this is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Also your North Node, if you have Cancer North Node, or your midheaven. I like to work with those 2 points as well in readings. It just helps give a much sort of broader spectrum idea of what's going on and sort of a multidimensional approach to help in all areas of life, which is what these readings are for. So any more messages, please, Ascended Masters, Cancer Collective Guides, Ascended Masters, Bodhisattvas, Avalokiteshvara, monks. Thank you. Thank you. Patience is such a big thing, Cancer. It's a big thing, isn't it? Thank you, everybody. So forgiveness, patience and forgiveness. Somebody reaching into that moon energy, Cancer, for forgiveness and having patience with this forgiveness process, perhaps. Let's look at the moonology and see what other information Spirit has for you, Cancer. So if this isn't resonating, perhaps try one of the other signs relevant to Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Midheaven. But if this is, it would be amazing if you could like, share, and subscribe if you're new here, and pass it on even if you feel that it's going to resonate with somebody you know, help them on their journey, Cancer. So any further information, please, from this moonology for Cancer regarding patience and forgiveness. Patience and forgiveness. Patience and forgiveness. There's very high frequencies, Cancer, that you are being asked to look at or explore, receive, give. Any more information for Cancer, please? Thank you. Ripper. Thank you. Okay. So don't let pride get in the way, Cancer, of this patience and forgiveness process that you are in. Spirit is saying a new romantic cycle is beginning. And balancing spirituality with practicality is going to be really important. And that your commitment is being tested, Cancer. So that's a powerful message. Patience and forgiveness at the beginning here, guiding you towards more patience and forgiveness on your journey or to receive it. Don't let pride get in your way, Cancer. It sounds like a powerful journey you're on. I mean, like I was saying, patience and forgiveness are high frequency energy spaces. So don't let pride get in your way of patience and forgiveness, Cancer. And if this journey, this forgiveness and this patience is around romance and partnership, the Spirit is saying that the patience and the forgiveness, when you don't let pride get in the way, will begin a new romantic cycle in your life. So it could be somebody new coming in, of course, or equally, it could be a new romantic cycle within the relationship you are currently in, Cancer. So balancing all of that with spirituality and practicality, and that may resonate in different ways. Balancing spirituality with practicality. So being practical in the relationship, but also maintaining these spiritual essences of patience and forgiveness, Cancer. Because at the minute, Spirit is saying your commitment is being tested to these things. Okay, so thank you, Spirit. Guides, angels, ascended masters, archangels, bodhisattvas, Avalokiteshvara. We are now working with the Tarot highest message, please, for Cancer regarding this new romantic cycle. The patience and the forgiveness that you are suggesting as a course of action or to ask for. Oh, interesting. Left behind was King of Cups, emotional intelligence. So Spirit, there's no mistakes, Cancer. So Spirit is also asking perhaps that this emotional intelligence of patience and forgiveness is at the forefront. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, it's on the floor. I'm just going to grab that for you. So on this journey of patience and forgiveness and in this new romantic cycle, Six of Pentacles is here. So generosity, gifts of generosity, Cancer. So gifts of forgiveness, gifts of patience. The gift of not letting pride get in the way of this romance, potentially new romance, or the new cycle that's beginning within your current romantic relationship, Cancer. Because that is the ultimate gift, isn't it? Patience and forgiveness. If we can get there, you know, particularly with forgiveness. And your commitment is being tested to this process. And Spirit is saying to be generous and in your emotional intelligence with patience and forgiveness. So let's come back to the Tarot, Cancer, and just see. That's very... It sounds like you're in the middle of digesting something. That's what it feels like. And it's going to need some patience, definitely forgiveness. And always with forgiveness, we can forgive and move forward, or we can forgive and sort of repatriate ourselves to the situation we're forgiving, in the sense of move forwards could be, okay, I forgive, but I have to move on. I have to release. I have to let go. And therefore a new romantic cycle starts. Or, okay, I forgive. I found that in a quality of patience, I'm not going to let pride get in the way of this situation and allow a new cycle within it to grow and develop with emotional intelligence, without pride getting in the way. Just balancing spirituality and practicality. That's an interesting message as well there, Cancer. So let's see, any more information for Cancer? Thank you. Okay, loss, Five of Cups. So there's been sadness, loss, grief, despair, abandonment, feeling of abandonment. So Five of Cups, this very lonely figure, Cancer, where you felt loss, abandonment, maybe even betrayal. Perhaps you felt guilt and remorse, heartbreak. So this is what they're saying. Patience and forgiveness. If you've had in your romance, in your partnership, a sense of Five of Cups where, sorry, I'm not laughing, it's just incredibly clear, this message that the Spirit is asking you to feel inspired with patience and forgiveness, to not let pride get in the way of that. And whether what has happened is repairable, the motivation is to bring generosity forward and emotional intelligence, because your commitment has been tested towards this, or your commitment has been tested in a relationship where you may have felt guilt and remorse yourself. And for the Cancers listening, I guess it could go either way, you know, it will resonate either way. Any more information for Cancer, please, on this journey? Thank you. So, yeah, Queen of Swords. You've been thinking this through, Cancer, with keen perception. You know, the Queen of Swords sees. This is the mind element and energy coming through, Cancer, of this situation. So to think things through is one thing, but to have emotional intelligence within something is another thing. They are, you know, two aspects that we have to traverse in relationships all the time. We need to remain perceptive and aware using intellect, the Queen of Swords energy. You know, but within that awareness, within that mental realm of awareness, astuteness, analyzing the situation, Cancer, drop into the emotional intelligence as much as you can around patience, forgiveness, either of yourself, asking for that, or giving it and sharing that to the other in this situation, in this romantic relationship. Any more information, please, for Cancer to help them? Thank you. So, taking time to contemplate would be Queen of Swords energy, and we'll work on the gene keys and see what dilemmas and shadows have been at play. But also working on, you know, quiet meditation, either just going for a walk, Cancer, and just looking at patience and forgiveness, and pride as well, yours or the others. And basically then the energy is going to change and free up, because a new romantic cycle can then begin. And that's what Spirit is saying is, you know, the positive outcome, you know, to move towards a new romantic cycle. And again, whether that's resonating that you are remaining because you've forgiven or have been forgiven, or you move forwards into something new and, you know, brand new. Any more messages, please, in the tarot for Cancer? Thank you. Okay, culmination point. Yeah. So 10 of Pentacles. So you are going to be able to move into the richness of either the current relationship beginning a new cycle, Cancer, or a brand new relationship that brings in riches and a sense of this 10 of Pentacles. You know, obviously 10 of Pentacles is the Pentacles of the earth energy. You know, this can also relate to financial gain. It can work around the sense of money, affluence, of course, as we see this beautiful 10 Pentacles. But here I feel like it's going to be about the richness within the relationship you are currently in. If you are forgiven, or you can forgive and find that patience and that way through to begin that new romantic cycle, or that new romantic cycle is a complete new thing that brings that 10 of Pentacles back into your world, into your being, in relationship with somebody where it feels rich, nourishing, prosperous. Pentacles again, earthed and grounded in practicality and spirituality. So that's nice, Cancer. That's a nice outcome. You know, either way, there is that outcome as you traverse and think about patience, forgiveness, pride. Any more information, please, for Cancer? Thank you, from the tarot. So, balance, seeking the balance. Okay, so balancing spirituality and practicality, Cancer. That's a strong message because you've got the Two of Pentacles here as well. So what is it that needs to be balanced in the relationship or within yourself to transform into a new romantic cycle? Balancing patience, forgiveness, practicality, spirituality. Working on understanding where there is a pride issue, and looking at how you could bring forward more Ten of Pentacles energy yourself as well, like bringing in that more generous, prosperous energy, either to the current relationship or into a new one, where there's, you are cultivating. Pentacles is about creating that emotional intelligence now. We had that at the beginning, and moving yourself into, Knight of Cups, creative expression, either within the relationship or in the new one coming along in this new romantic cycle begins. So Knight of Cups is about romantic proposals. So that is exciting, Cancer. I do feel that through this process, the outcomes are positive. Ten of Pentacles is very positive, very positive with the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is either you or the other bringing forward emotional intelligence, bringing forward gifts, pentacles. The Knight of Cups brings forward that energy, and it could be you and it could be somebody coming in or the partner that you're with. This, fundamentally the King of Cups is about your ideal partner coming in, or you are starting a brand new romantic cycle within your current relationship, because that is your ideal partner. And it's this regenerative energy that Spirit is talking about. And the guidance is through patience and through forgiveness of self or other, whichever way that is in this reading for you. And without letting pride get in the way, this culmination in a new romantic cycle will begin, which is very positive. Either something coming in or something coming into the current relationship, your energy, their energy, finding that balance now and that emotional intelligence now within the current relationship or the new relationship, Cancer. So it feels very good. Wow. And then coming into the Empress, this is powerful for you, Cancer. So this journey is bringing you into your Empress energy, or the Empress energy within a relationship, a romantic relationship. And this is, of course, about motherhood, fertility. It's about pregnancy even. So Cancer, just noting that if that's on the horizon for you. But it can also be about birthing this new relationship within the current one, or within a brand new energy cycle of a brand new romantic cycle. So the Empress energy within this, again, is telling me that you are being moved through something, and Spirit is saying that's the pathway. Patience, forgiveness, don't let pride get in the way. And that is what begins this new cycle. And just stand your ground within that. Seven of Wands, stand up for your beliefs, Cancer. So if you do believe in patience and forgiveness, if you do believe that pride can get in the way, and whether it's within you, another, whatever's going on, that's the process to stand your ground, and just maintain your inner sense of self, Cancer, at the moment, as you question and work through the forgiveness aspect, because forgiveness at the beginning is, that's a serious quotient to deal with, and only you, inside of you, will know how that rolls out and how that unfolds and unpacks, maintaining that emotional intelligence around it. And Spirit is saying, wow, Two of Wands, you have the choice. So Cancer, Two of Wands energy here in your reading is saying there are two options. You can forgive, you can, work with the situation without letting pride get in the way and being patient. But maybe there's another path, and you can see the other path as well. You can see that, if you work through this, you do remain in the balance point and in the choice point of making the decision you need to make, Cancer. And I think that's really important. So it's not a directive to find the patience, find the forgiveness. It's about exploring that and then deciding where that path takes you and making your own decision, your own emotionally intelligent decision in this situation, Cancer. That's powerful. I hope this is helping. Let's see. I'm now asking for Gene Keys guidance for you, because the Gene Keys will illustrate here what the actual dilemma has been, what the shadows at play are, what your dilemma is, and, the gift here, what can really sort of be evolved into. And the ultimate is the Siddhic state of like bringing the ultimate gift into this situation, Cancer. If you haven't studied your Gene Keys yet, highly recommend that. If you go to genekeys.com, you can download your own free hologenetic profile and see what keys are at play in this cycle. If you go through your Venus sequence in the Gene Keys, you will see immediately what shadows have been at play, what are yours to own, and what the influences of the other are upon you through your shadow points and through your gift points and through the Siddhi points. It's a powerful process. I've done it a few times. I have applied it to various relationships, historical, looking back, to just sort of really work through even more deeper layers of forgiveness, and for myself and for the other. And, always looking at that Venus sequence in relationship is powerful change making, and very, very deepening on your heart chakra to bring in deep emotional intelligence around what needs to be forgiven, where the patience needs to come forth, and how that can really generate a new cycle here, particularly in this reading, in a romantic cycle. So you have Gene Key 5. Now, 5s are about change. So the dilemma here, Cancer, has been about surrender. Are you surrendering? Or you want somebody to surrender? Because the shadow has been impatience. So the shadow has been impatience, and the very first card out was be patient. You cannot make this up, Cancer. I love it when it gets to this point in the reading where Spirit is like reconfirming the messages over and over again. They're asking you to be patient because Gene Key 5, the shadow, is impatience. So whether you have been impatient, asking for forgiveness, or whether you have been being asked to forgive, forget, and move forward, and somebody has been impatient with you, that's what's at play. Powerful. And again, the gift of Gene Key 5 is patience. So whether you give the gift of patience and the emotional intelligence of patience, you give it, or you need to receive it, you're asking for it. This is what's at play. And if you can move into a sense of timelessness here, so patience is timelessness in a sense, because we can patiently wait for the train to arrive at 4:00, okay? But patience has a timelessness about it. And when we can move into that sense of deep acceptance, particularly around emotional intelligence and working with somebody on patience, it's like, well, how long will it take for you to access forgiveness, you personally or the other? How long will it take for patience and forgiveness and emotional intelligence and this new romantic cycle to start evolving? It's not defined by, a 4:00 train time type timetable, for example, if you see what I'm saying, Cancer. So patience is timelessness. And when we access that and deeply, deeply go into the radical acceptance, particularly if we're waiting for another's forgiveness, then we have to be patient. We don't know. And to put a time on it for yourself or another, if you're being pressured or you're pressuring, will really, it will break that communication and it won't work, So the way through this situation, Spirit is saying, Gene Key 5, you cannot make this up. Patience and patience. The way through is patience. Absolutely incredible, Cancer. What a powerful, powerful, powerful message. If that's resonating. Let's just see. I'd like to look at the oracle, another oracle card, and then I'm going to move to the chakra point. I wonder if it's heart. Chakra point is the heart point for you, maybe, Cancer. This is such a powerful reading. Wow. I really hope it's landing, whether it's for you or the other, that you're asking for patience, or that you've been asked for patience to bring forward forgiveness or to be forgiven, Cancer. Timelessness. So think about that. There's fear when we want to be forgiven that we won't be. And the other in this romantic exchange may be fearing you won't forgive, Cancer. And the fear runs time because as the longer it goes on, of course, the more fear builds that forgiveness is not coming and this new romantic cycle can't start. But if you're patient and the other is patient and has patience, then that immediately takes off the pressure and much more emotional intelligence can be found around what the forgiveness is. And it can be then shared and brought forward as a gift rather than a pressure point to make something happen, to begin again, or to, completely let go and start a new romantic cycle with another somewhere else, something else. Timelessness is about taking the time pressure away from this, I feel, which again, obviously, is patience. Cancer, you are on the right path with this process. That's beautiful. I love these oracle cards. They are stunning. All the links for the cards I use are below. Look at that. You are on the right path with this, Cancer. Don't give up. Be patient with yourself or the other. And the evolution is towards forgiveness, away from pride. If you're feeling like you can't forgive through pride, then contemplate that. And then if you're feeling that the other is got too much pride to forgive you, contemplate that. And just know that Spirit is saying, as you move through this, the culmination was good. It was 10 of Pentacles, and it was, King of Knight of Cups, wasn't it? I think coming through, and bringing this energy back together again, balancing the energy, coming back into coherence, Cancer. So let's see, chakra points for Cancer, please, or a chakra point for Cancer to really focus on balancing energy, helping them work through this patience and forgiveness cycle. I'm wondering, throat, heart or heart, speaking your truth. Chakra point, please, for Cancer. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, there's quite a few there. Okay. Wow, there's quite a few, Cancer. Okay, there's like almost every chakra point, which makes sense. Okay, so let's go from the root. Okay, heart. Cancer chakra point, focusing in on the heart meditation. I'm going to link a heart connection meditation at the end of this video. If you need something, it's there. So compassion, have compassion. Which is forgiveness. Compassion, forgiveness go very well together, of course. The crown chakra, work on the connection. Work on the connection. So heart connection. There's an actual video. I'll link it. Hope that's relevant for you, Cancer. And work on your solar plexus, on autonomy. So remember the choice that you have. Remember you have a choice. The solar plexus is about your power point in this, and not feeling overpowered by it. Don't become overpowered. Stay in your autonomy and your self-worth, because they're also saying sacral chakra. So your self-worth here is hanging in the balance, in the sense of that choice comes from emotional intelligence about forgiveness, patience, and pride, either yours or the others. Stay very grounded in this situation. Work on your root chakra as well, Cancer. Stay very grounded. You are safe. I'm going to read this card to you in a minute. It feels very relevant. And keep working on the connection. If you want the connection to somebody already, or a new connection to take you through something, as you choose and make the right decisions, this crown chakra connection point is about, visualizing what it is that you want, Cancer, what it is that you want in this romantic relationship. And just know that you are one. That's what this card is saying. You are one as you focus in on the crown chakra. Coming back into the root. So the depth of this is that you are safe, Cancer. You are of the earth as you are of heaven. Allow the greatest mother of all to support and nourish you. You are provided for in all ways. You are safe. Cancer, well, you are safe. That is what I have for you in this reading. I really hope that has helped give you some insight, some things to contemplate, meditate with, and I'm wishing you lots of love on this journey. Take your time, work with patience, access that timelessness, and just noticing, feeling grounded in it, feeling connected in it, and centered in your heart. Sending you lots of love, Cancer, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.